Hi everybody, I'm Mike Starcinich. You can say that many ways, but let's try Starcinich for this video. And what did he ask for my title? The name of the talk. The talk is Get Vision Back. So, Evan Naseem, like many 16-year-olds, when caught with drugs, was imprisoned and tortured. And out of keeping with the tradition of family compassion in the Maldives, this was seen as something not right. So when he died 2 years later from torture, his mother, Mariam, instead of going meekly, pulled back the shroud of covering his body. And in doing so, unleashed a mother's uprising that changed the trajectory of this island country. I was lucky to be able to go to visit teen ex-prisoners in their homes, traveling around the islands. Different than now, shorts, sandals, lots of sunscreen, you know, motorbikes everywhere. And keeping your hat on while on the motorbike fishtailing in the sand. I had to hold on like this, lose my hat, because I'm twice as big as Zaki, the guy who let me jump on the back of his bike. So they were holding on, going to house, and by the way, not very far behind, most of the time, were the police, wondering just what was going on and should they intervene or not. And then Zaki seeing them saying, everything easy, easy, smiling his way through it. So from these visits, what I learned was I was meeting wonderful children in loving families who in their teens just kind of, you know, got into something that they shouldn't have. And it just didn't quite go, the punishment just didn't quite go with the norms there. So the protests were having enormous effects. And they were starting very well, they would conduct and disperse, except something would happen. Young people would stick around. They wouldn't go home. And this, throwing things, was really not in keeping with this vision that the families had and the mothers had of tolerant, equitable society. So vision, the thing about vision is, when I work with it, what I find is people really want, they do want equality, generosity, gentleness, inclusion, tolerance. And vision is something where it only works if everybody's included, if everybody's invited. So it can't be a repellent force. It has to be a very attractive force. You want thousands of people to come to you so that there are very few people left on the other side. Well, how to solve this bit of conundrum with youth violence was the parents decided to end protest quickly and crisply. And the way they did that was to come up with a buzz phrase, which was like, know when to go. So I love the sound of it, know when to go. It even became like a mantra, know when to go, know when to go, know when to go, know when to go. Don't confront the police. And it worked. And since the Maldivians invented this, it really has spread to many protest movements around the world. You can see the difference between them in this aspect. And the Maldives did achieve their victory that they wanted. They actually ushered in a reform government that started to fight torture. And they did this completely without outside support. There was no outside help from Europe or the US or anybody. But this brings up two challenges with Europe and the US and some definitions we might do before describing some ways to get vision back in this way like they did. So let me handle the US, you know, has lost its way. It spies on its friends, and it's a torturing country. It is very little use in the vision of fighting torture. And we found that without this effect, it's harder to do this work. So the US needs to get vision back, for sure. But we won't let one country, however important, you know, make the whole world blind. So in the Maldives then, people did this themselves, but what they found was the entire gain was vulnerable to being reversed. And there was one teenager there who's seeing all this, said he wanted to be a journalist. His name is Rilwan, and we'll come back to him in a moment. But the second weak point is the EU. It's lost its expansion moxie, hasn't it? The EU has lost its neighborhood energy, and it's very much inward looking. So for us, as mostly Europeans, to help, we have to get vision back in Europe in a way that Europe has to be outward looking again. It's this magnetic effect that draws everybody in, and it can play a very important role that it's not playing at the moment. We'll see what those weaknesses come to. But in terms of definitions, this is always an issue of, well, what are we talking about? And I'm talking about things people do for themselves. Change can only come from people within a system if it should be genuine and sustainable. It can be triggered from outside. It can be sponsored from outside. People only do it themselves is really what happens. There's all the research really confirms this. It's, whether it's Ackerman and Duval, Ackerman and Karatnitsky, Stephanie and Chenoweth, Diamond, McFall, Tunner. The list goes on, and I've participated in many of these studies. That change only comes from within. So that's what we're talking about. And the research further shows that only nonviolence really works. Conflict is human. So how are we going to handle it? With violence or with other things? It has to be handled nonviolently, because how you come to power is how you will rule. All right. Without these magnets, the thugs who had gotten thrown out came back in at gunpoint. They threw the other government out physically in a coup, and they brought back 30 years of misrule and torture in prison. So how would we get vision back? I gave an example from the Maldives of what they did to make sure their vision was adhered to. I called on the EU and the US. Now I think let's look at protests examples from around the world which had some success but not perfect, and see where they might have gotten vision a little bit better. So let's get vision back in Tahrir. People built their vision in the square, but they neglected politics. They neglected who would come after. They handed power over to the army. That was one of the only institutions remaining, and as of today, all the leaders of that revolution are imprisoned by this very same army. So we have to get vision back in Daraa. If you remember early on in the Syria struggle, people actually marched their funerals right into gunfire. So vision includes being willing to risk a lot, almost everything, but it means vision implies evading and surviving to fight another day. In Homs, if you remember, after a while of peaceful uprisings, people started arming the funerals, and with just a few small guns, they went against. Vision says don't go against the tyranny's only and strongest remaining thing where you're the weakest. This is a mistake of vision that comes down to tactics. So let's get vision back in Gezi Park, where people saved the trees but lost the forest because they left an authoritarian ever more entrenched there. And vision implies you really have to do your homework of studying how power operates, and you have to think about power, not just action. Let's try to get vision back in Ferguson, where there's only we, there's no us and them in good vision. Let's try to get vision back in Martyr Square, where an amazing uprising happened, and the Lebanese then asked the UN to investigate, and it took 4 years for the UN tribunal to start investigating the assassination of Rafiq Hariri. So vision is about not giving up impetus, but keeping it. Let's get vision back in Maidan, where people had the most remarkable uprising in our memories, and it was peaceful, but they failed to reach out in the Russian language to Russian speakers very early on. This was a huge error of vision, because failing inclusion is failing vision. So that's my picture of getting vision back around the world. And it comes back to all these weaknesses of the last decade that made it very hard to work. And in the coup-dominated Maldives, the gunpoint government has signed up with the knife-point radicals. And they're now exporting terror to other countries. So we've really missed the boat there, and there are great consequences. One guy, this young journalist, he did become a journalist after being inspired by Evan's things. Real one was abducted 44 days ago today. And so people are looking for him. What happened to him? He was abducted by some of these extremists who are exporting terror. So my final message to you, let's get Real One back, and let's get vision back.